Hey guys, so welcome to today's interview. So I'm here with Marsha Windross, and Marsha, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Extus.
Awesome, you're welcome. You're welcome. So Marsha, she has an amazing story, and in terms of what she does, she runs a coaching business. Where and tell them, Marsha, who do you help? What do you do?
Okay, so I'm a trained English language coach and I help speakers of other languages to improve their English communication skills for business and other purposes that
Hmm.
require the use of English.
Awesome, love it. And where are you located?
I am in beautiful Jamaica in the Caribbean.
So I'm looking at my window right now, and it's been raining for the past was like maybe 3 4 hours, so it's really just dark outside. What about the weather on your end? What's the weather like back there?
It's beautiful, it's sunshiny, it's warm, and it's beautiful.
I love it. Awesome. So yes, definitely a pleasure having you on the show today. And I really wanted to bring you on because I know you have an amazing story. And in terms of what you do, I really do believe in what you do as far as helping individuals improve the English language and stuff like that. So it's definitely a pleasure. So I guess, how did you get started? What made you want to get to doing what you do right now?
Well, I was in a 9 to 5 job and I was doing reasonably well, but I was not fulfilled.
Mhm.
And I knew that there was more inside of me, and I wanted to express that. I wanted to do work that I felt fulfilled doing, I was effective at, and that was financially rewarding for me. And so I needed to make a change, and I decided to just go for it.
Mhm.
I knew I didn't have a lot of time to make the change, and I decided to start where I was strong, to spend the time in introspection to determine, okay, what am I good at, and hone that. So I am good at English in terms of my oral and written English communication skills. I'm a teacher at heart, and I am awesome at encouraging people. And I thought it's the perfect combination. Let me just go at getting teacher training to teach English as a foreign language.
Mhm. That is brilliant. And with your business, in terms of what you do, how you help clients, how you work with clients, it's virtual, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I guess that's the exciting part about just living in today's day and age, where you could build a business all online, virtual, work with clients from all over the world, and not really have to get caught up with locations and these different types of things. It's because it's a virtual, similar to what's happening here, where you're all the way in Jamaica, I'm all the way in the U.S. in Indiana, and we're having this conversation here, which is pretty
Right.
cool. So I guess the question for you is like, what's that vision that you see? Because I know most individuals who do start their coaching business, they have a vision that they see of how they could make the world a better place. What is your vision for what you're doing?
For me, it's easing the process of learning because English is an international language. And so it means that there are very many people whose first language isn't English who
Hmm.
acquire it as a second language. However, there is the need for the right kind of guidance and support. So there's a lot of English language teaching that's going on, but not all English language teaching
Hmm.
is appropriate for people of other languages. So my vision is to make that process as easy as possible, is to take the struggle out of it so that it's not hard for a non-native English speaker.
Hmm. And when it comes to English, I guess you could say, what are a few big mistakes? Someone who wants to learn English, do you see any type of common mistakes, common pitfalls they get into that if they just fix it, would kind of make the whole process a lot easier for them?
Yes, apart from making sure that you're working with the right kind of support personnel, you want to make sure that you are using the kinds of materials that are authentic. You're not stuck in a classroom mode, but you're using things that you're going to be encountering in the natural, everyday experiences of life. You also want to make sure that you are immersed in human interaction. So there are technology only solutions, and it's one thing to sit with something in your ear, and to participate in those activities, but it's in real human interaction that learning that lasts happens. I've heard non native speakers complain about struggling to listen and follow along and understand it when native level speakers communicate with each other and with them as non native speakers, because the language is usually fast and connected, and that's where the struggle is. So that's one of the areas that I help people to focus on becoming better in.
Hmm. Okay, that's awesome. So now the next question becomes, in terms of do you, in terms of, I guess, the language, the English language in general, how do you, what do you think is the one tip that if you were to give someone, just like with myself, right? So I realize that with what I do, I just help individuals grow their businesses online. And I find that there's just a few things that you really need to focus on. So I guess when it comes to the actual structure of a language, do you have like some type of formula that you could take someone through, that whether they're basically struggling, they can't really speak the language that well? Do you have any type of structure format that you kind of take them through, that you've kind of developed?
Absolutely. I have stripped it down to a two-step process. It's very straightforward, it's simple, it's clear. I've prepared a training on persons who are interested in experiencing that process. And it goes into detail in that presentation. But simply put, it is focusing on equipping students at the level of understanding and application. So it's one thing to take in information. I want to make sure that persons are able to receive information in English and make sense of it, but then they're able to move beyond it and to also express themselves in English. So that's what my two-step process is about. And as I said in my free training, I go into greater detail into how that works.
That is awesome. So you do have a free training. That's
I do.
yeah, that's pretty powerful. So I guess if anyone was watching this video and again you're struggling with English, you have any issues, definitely check out her free training. And I think that's a pretty powerful thing to have a free training, because I know that with what you do, you help individuals improve their English skills. And most people who want to improve their English skills, most of them realize, okay, I can't really do this on my own. I need some type of mentor, coach, or someone. And most advice, most people would say, well, I'm not going to give you anything unless you pay me money to work together. But you've taken a different approach, which is you've created something that you give away for free, a free actual training that someone could go through and help them start improving their English right from the start without ever having to invest any money in hiring you first. Is that right?
That is absolutely right. And I have a bunch of free resources on my website. I also, which is rightlyspeaking.com. And you can access that using the link below the video. You can also check out my YouTube channel where you'll get free educational videos. And again, that's where I simplify the process of listening and understanding and producing, or in other words, speaking English comfortably and confidently as well.
Hmm. That is awesome. So one of the things, and I've been checking out some of your stuff as well. So I've been to your website, I've seen your YouTube channel, I've checked out a lot of your stuff, and I realize you're definitely someone who you over deliver. If anyone gets around you, if anyone who wants to learn English, I believe that you're one of the best to learn from, just because I've seen how you approach your life, your business, and how much value you put into the marketplace. You give out way more value than most other people. I think the value you give out is stuff most other people are charging for, but you're in a sense giving it away for free. I know for myself, I do something similar in my business, simply because I realize that the more you give away stuff, the better it is. Just like, my ideal audience, the people I serve, are coaches and consultants who want to get consistent high ticket clients to their businesses. And one of the things I learned really, really early on was that if I could just give as much value as possible,
Yes.
that's where the biggest leverage comes from. And that's one of the reasons why I created the free Facebook group, High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle. So if anyone who's watching this, they're a coach, consultant, service provider, they're trying to figure out how to get consistent high ticket clients, you should definitely check that out, because I definitely follow Marsha's her approach, which is give as much value to your ideal clients as possible before you ever ask them for the money. If you take that approach, I think you'll do really, really well. So I guess, Marsha, a question I have for you right now is, tell us an event. Let's get a little personal here. Tell us an event from your life that's kind of shaped you. Do you have any type of stories? I love asking about a story or something in your life that you realize, okay, that thing has really shaped the person I am today? Do you have any type of personal story that maybe you've never shared anywhere else that you could share with us here today?
I don't know that there's anything particularly dramatic,
Mhm.
but when my grandmother was alive, that's my mother's mom, we were very close. And she taught me some very valuable lessons. I lost her in late 2017, and that took a lot of grieving. But I was able to get better over time, and I'm happy about that. But the thing that I like the most is some of the things she taught me. And one of them is that it's not everything that glitters is gold.
Mhm.
And that is something that I apply to my personal decision making. And it's also something that I think is applicable even in the context of my business, where there are very many offers that are being made. There's a lot of teaching of English that goes on. There are very many platforms. There are very many teachers. And what you see on the front is a lot of, I'm trying to say it correctly. You want to make sure that you are working with someone who will meet you where you are. They are sensitive to what your struggle is, and there isn't a broad brush approach. So if someone is promising to get you results, it's perfectly okay to question them to see if they really do understand what your particular struggle is. And when you've satisfied yourself that it's not just a fancy presentation, but that you're dealing with someone who authentically cares about you and what your need is, then I think that is the basis on which you should make your decision of sticking around with a person or with a thing.
Mhm.
When you find that thing that connects with you in that place of your need and what it is you want and are looking for, work with it. Apply yourself, commit yourself, and go all the way.
Mhm. Beautiful. That's lovely. Um, now um, the next question I have is, what is your vision for the clients, the individuals that you work with? Do you have a vision that you keep for all of your students? Because I know for myself, as I grow my business, well, the things I really pride is a vision I have, because I realize most individuals who do work with me, come to our company and they work with us, they typically want to get started with their coaching consulting businesses, but they're not sure what's possible. And I always try to have a bigger vision for themselves. So most of my clients, my vision is for me to see them get to 6 and 7 figures within their coaching and consulting businesses, and that's really how I kind of see it in my mind. And even though they don't believe it yet, I know that that's the vision, and that's all I'm kind of pushing for them to help as many people as possible, and to be able to earn a really good income doing it. So I guess for you, do you have any vision that you kind of see for the students that you work with?
I absolutely do. My vision is to help people to come to the place where ultimately they can use English comfortably, confidently, competently on their own in various interaction encounters. So when they get into new environments and they're in new situations, they can handle themselves well. So yes, as your language coach, in working with you, I provide the scaffolding or support you need for those parts of your journey that require that. But it's to help you, it's to simplify using my technical knowledge and expertise. It's to simplify the process of identifying the right materials and relevant tactics, but to help you to mature and progress to the place where through self-discovery, you are able to adjust that and you are able to handle yourself well on your own.
Perfect. Love that. Love that. Awesome. Well, in that case, Marsha, I think that's it. I think we're good. So I guess before we sign off here, do you have any last words you want to share before we?
Absolutely, absolutely. If there is anyone who wants to experience my two-step process for transitioning from the intermediate to advanced level English competency, then you can get on a free consultation call with me. And in that call, I'll assess where you are currently with your English language ability, and I'll also advise you on the next steps that you should take to go to the advanced level. If you are at the advanced level already, but you have what is known as a spiky profile, where there are pockets of weakness, you can still get on that call and we can still map out an action plan for how you can deal with those areas of weakness that you have. As well, I have started a new free but private Facebook group for non native English speakers who want to find a warm and nurturing community as they progress to advanced level competency in using English. And I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to talking with you and supporting you and offering you value and help where I can.
Perfect. This sounds really exciting. So, guys, definitely check her out. If you're struggling with English, if you're trying to improve, she mentioned a lot of free resources here. They'll be right below this video when you're watching it. So if you watch it on YouTube or maybe Facebook or is it LinkedIn. So be sure to click on the links, check out some of the stuff, and we'll take it from there. Awesome. Well, Marsha, hey, appreciate you being there. Thank you so much for making the time, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you for having me. Have a good one, Extus.
You do the same.